The 805 Focus is brought to you in part by Nonprofit Connect. Nonprofit Connect provides superior leadership tools and resources so nonprofit leaders and board members can make valuable decisions to move their organization forward to a sustainable and vibrant future. More information on services online at nonprofitconnect.org.
Welcome to 805 Focus. I'm Dr. Cinder Sinclair with Nonprofit Connect, and we will be bringing you the latest on your favorite nonprofits. So get ready to be inspired. Our special guest today is Bebe Longstreet, and Bebe is the Executive Director of Laguna Cottages for Seniors. Welcome, Bebe.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh gosh, I know you have a big story to tell, and I can hardly wait to hear about all the great work that you're doing there.
I'm excited to share about Laguna Cottages. It's a wonderful place and one of the best kept secrets in Santa Barbara.
I'd say so.
We've been around for the last 68 years.
68?
68 years. The nonprofit was started by a group of women from the American Women Volunteer Services, and in the 40s it was World War II veterans housing. And when that was no longer a need, the group of women started doing their research on the needs of senior housing, low-income senior housing.
Okay.
And Laguna Cottages was a model program in the 1950s. It was written up in Ladies' Home Journal.
Wow.
The women started this organization with 14 units and have grown now over this 68 years to 55 units.
Gosh.
Of low-income senior housing. So we serve the neediest seniors in Santa Barbara.
So how did they do that way back then? Those 14 women, did they pool their resources and then purchase these cottages?
They did. Also, they received grants, the Santa Barbara Foundation, the Fleischman Foundation.
Okay.
Our cottages have plaques in front of them, and people often ask, was that who lives there? And it's like, no, those were original donors.
Gosh.
At one point, they sent out a letter to 100 people asking for $100 and got 100% response.
Oh, man.
In Santa Barbara. The original units, of course, cost $4,200 to build, which at times have changed. But over the years, we continue to still have an all-woman board. They have grown the organization without taking on any debt. They raise their money before they build, and they've been very fiscally responsible, and so we are blessed to own our property in downtown Santa Barbara and be able to serve our residents.
And so all of these cottages are in the same sort of geographical location?
We occupy about 2/3 of the block of between Garden and Laguna and De La Guerra and Cannon Perdido.
Okay.
So we're right downtown across from the Housing Authority. Of our 55 units, they've been built from the early 1950s. The latest building was constructed in 2005, which is 11 studio units that face Garden Street. They have an 18 Garden Street address. So.
Well, that's nice and convenient for getting around.
It's 2 blocks over to State Street. There's a bus that stops in the front, so it's very conveniently located for residents.
Golly, and you've been involved in it for quite a long time, I understand.
I've been the director for the last 16 years, and it's been a joy. It's been a wonderful job. Part of the way that we're able to serve our residents is I'm the only full-time employee. I have a half-time office assistant at this time and a night manager who lives on site for safety purposes.
Oh yeah, that would be important to have somebody live on site.
It is. It is important. It's all independent living, though. I mean, we don't provide food or any of those services. So people have to be able to safely live on their own at night and things.
Right.
Many of our residents receive daytime help. They'll have people who come in and clean or family members that help them out.
Do you have any kind of like gathering room where they come together for any kind
Well,
of...
before COVID we did.
Oh.
But of course all of that's gone on hold. During regular times we have a community room, and we would have holiday parties and just like a cocktail hour, something like that. Once COVID hit, we moved to having donuts in the driveway. So we could meet outside and have donuts in the morning, and just have a little time to socialize. Isolation was, I think, the biggest problem for seniors with COVID. We just, at Christmas time, delivered our tamale dinner this year so that everyone could participate just separately.
Yeah. Oh, that's really sweet.
I know, it's sad.
Well, good for you for putting that outside donut thing together in the driveway.
It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
For us. But, you know, we have residents that range from probably right now 67 up to 95 is our most senior resident.
95 and still living alone.
And we have, I think, 5 people over 90 who are still living alone.
But they can have caretakers come in during the day if they want.
Definitely. We encourage that. We encourage anything like that that helps them stay independent longer.
Yes.
The units are very small, though, so overnight assistance just doesn't work.
Yeah.
They're only about 350 square feet. They do have a complete kitchen and bathroom, but they're not large enough for a second person, really.
That's pretty exciting. So how do people find out about this great service?
Well, we have a waiting list, of course.
I bet you do.
Our qualifications, the one thing that's unique to Laguna Cottages is that we require a 2-year residency in the county prior to application, and that has been the mission since the beginning. The women that started it wanted to serve the residents of Santa Barbara County. Past that, you must be 65 years of age, meet the low income standards. We use the same as HUD.
Okay.
Not have any real property, so you can't be entitled to a home or anything like that, and have assets under 100,000. So we have found that some people don't have retirement, you know, but they have a retirement, a small one, that's maybe a 401k or something. So we put a limit on it because our mission is to serve the most needy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then for that, they pay 30% of their income.
Oh.
It includes all their utilities, their cable TV hookup, and the use of the laundry. So really, when someone moves in, all they need is a phone.
That
And
is
it
great.
removes a great deal of stress for a senior that's living on a minimal amount of income. I think it's $900 and something if you get Social Security and SSI right now.
Yeah.
And our lowest rent is $279.
Isn't that something?
It
what a
is
wonderful
wonderful.
service for low-income seniors.
It
Man.
is. That's why our residents don't leave until they have to, either for health reasons or whatever. So.
Gosh, do a lot of them have family in town?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they do. Many have families. And one of the things that's been unique for me is before I did this job, I spent 17 years in the school district, in the elementary district. And I now see the parents of, I think I've had 4 different families that I had their children in school.
Oh my
And now
gosh.
I have the parents at Laguna Cottages. So it's a nice circle to complete.
Do you think, or are you aware of any service like this in other communities?
Well, we have a lot of low-income senior housing in Santa Barbara, but most of it is through the Housing Authority. We're pretty blessed in this community, definitely blessed with our Housing Authority and what they provide, and then we have several other organizations, but we kind of fly under the radar being as small as we are.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Gosh, Bibi, I'll bet you've got a story you could share with us.
Well, we had one gentleman, and actually he and his wife lived with us for years. He passed a couple years ago, but he lived to be 105.
105.
And his wife is still with us.
Oh,
So,
living in their same place.
no, we only have 4 couples units.
Oh, okay.
The need seems to be much more for single seniors. So when one of a couple passes, then the other resident is asked to move to a single unit so we can accommodate a
gotcha.
couple.
That makes
But
sense.
she's still with us and doing well. And he was I think he was in the news press when he turned 100. And
Seems like I did see
yes,
that.
he had been a circus clown in Mexico. He was just a wonderful, delightful man. So we still have, like I said, six residents who were there when I started 16 years ago. So we like to keep our residents.
So you have something between 55 and 60 residents.
58 residents.
58.
One of our units is occupied by our resident manager.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So it's,
Gosh.
you know, we're blessed with good contractors. We operate, like I said, with just the 3 of us, but then we contract out for all of our maintenance and everything. And we're blessed with people who believe in our mission and help us out.
Yes.
You know, our gardener's been with us 30 years, and you know, people like it's a great place to be.
Yeah, I would say.
And then I have a board of 15 women.
Oh, okay.
And they meet monthly and oversee what we do. And so that's been, we had one board member when I came, she left probably 10 years ago, who'd served on the board for 50 years.
50?
Our community room is now named after her.
Oh.
So we had a whole group that served for 25 years.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, there's been a good investment from the community in Laguna Cottages.
Yeah, people who really believe in what you're doing, and rightfully so.
Yes, it is. It's been a blessing to me to work there, just to be able to do a job that you're very proud of and you feel useful in.
Yeah.
So we're doing good work, I think.
Yes, you are. Yeah. So let's say a person is listening to this and they're saying, "Oh gosh, I would be interested in that," or my mom or my dad, you know, how do they find out more about you?
We don't have an operational website. I'll fess up to that right now. And part of that is just for COVID got in the way, but we were getting an awful lot of inquiries from out of the area and a lot of disappointed people who couldn't apply to Laguna Cottages. So it didn't seem like it was top of our list for expenditures at that point. But we're located at 803 Laguna Street. So our offices are open from 9 to 3 every day.
All right.
And someone can come and pick up an application. As soon as we receive a completed application, we put them on a waiting list.
Okay.
And our waiting list is about 2.5 to 3 years long.
Oh gosh.
And as we move down our waiting list and do interviews, the interviews are with members of our admissions committee and myself.
So board members.
Board members. That's the kind of involvement that our board members have.
That's great.
Is getting to know the residents. And then from there, selections are made based on need a lot of the time when we're looking at new residents. But of course, there's a lot of fair housing laws that we all follow, you know, closely, because that's important.
Yeah.
Very important.
So COVID has really sort of thrown you for a loop, like a lot of people, but it sounds like you made the best of it.
We have. I think the one thing that I've noticed is for our residents, isolation has been a problem.
Yeah.
But they haven't had a lot of impacts financially because their rent has stayed the same, where we've seen around the community so many people's rents have gone sky high and all that. Our residents are secure in where they live and the costs they're facing. Family members were at the height of it bringing food and living on the doorstep and getting deliveries and that
Yeah.
kind of thing. And that's another thing our board does, which is special. It's about every other month they put together goodie bags.
Oh.
Every month is different, whatever they come up with, and they're delivered to everybody so that they know that they're thought about and cared for. And that was extremely important during COVID times, to have that extra outreach.
Yeah,
To,
that's great.
yeah.
I love that. I love the idea of donuts in the driveway. I just have this picture of this little card table with
That was it. It was a card table, a tablecloth, some juice drinks, anything bottled. We didn't go coffee because we didn't want to,
sure. Yeah, yeah.
have to serve things. But
Yeah,
everybody,
that's smart. That's smart.
so we would have juice drinks and water and donuts, and who doesn't like a little sugar when
That's
you're
right.
feeling down? But it's been a good time, I think, to see people still being cared for and safe.
Yeah.
In it, and our board members they come in and garden once a month, and just so they're around to speak to residents and
That's great.
know what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I understand you are going to be retiring at some point in the near future.
I am. I'm looking in the next couple of months and retiring, and we will be looking for a new executive director. And I am excited. I will still be in town. I'll still be there.
Yeah, that's great.
I'll be a phone call away when somebody needs to know where that pipe goes. Or it's a unique job in that being the only full-time employee, I do everything from phoning families when we see a problem to dealing with the plumbers.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it an interesting job.
Yeah.
You're not siloed into one area. It's budget today, and tomorrow it's dealing with someone's needs.
Definitely multitasking.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah. So if someone is interested in applying themselves, or they know of a friend who might be interested, they could just either come by and ask for an application, or they could call the phone number.
They could submit a resume, and we would love to, look at resumes from anybody who has the qualifications that we need. We've posted it in several places. And
that's good.
Yeah, Indeed and Craigslist, and put the
okay.
word out.
Well,
It'll take
good luck with that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I know there's someone out there who will enjoy the job as much as I have, and will bring it to a new level.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a dinosaur in the technology. So, there's room to grow and to make the job their own.
Yeah, sure. Well, you have earned stars in your crown, my dear.
Well, it's been, like I said, I started in elementary school, and people are people. No matter what age they are, their needs are similar.
Well, we have about a minute left. Is there anything else you'd like the audience to know about Laguna Cottages?
Well, I would, the Laguna Cottages has a rich history, and I see it continuing into the future to provide these services for seniors.
And what a blessing for our community and all the people involved. And you are a blessing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us today to tell your inspiring story.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on 805 Focus, and we'll see you next time.